Good morning, everyone. I am Troi Madison Newman, a participant in the Aliyah Indigenous Correspondent Program. I'm from the University of Arizona College of Law, and I'm also an alumna of George Washington University, class of 2021. Thank you. I'm a Black, Indigenous, enrolled citizen of the Piscataway Kanoi tribe. The Piscataway people in our land spread from Southern Maryland into the Washington, D.C. areas. Today, I want us to honor the traditional homelands that we are on by giving a land acknowledgement. Nevertheless, if you are capable, can you all please stand as we give a land acknowledgement to the lands that we are on today? We acknowledge that George Washington University stands on the traditional land and unceded territory of my people, the Nekatanen, Esconditon, and the Piscataway people, from past and present. Today we honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have been stewards of this land throughout the generations. Piscataway translates to the people of the waters, and they remind us that the clean air and the waterways are essential to life. This land acknowledgement is a vocal reminder to each and every one of us that our physical environment is in the better traditions that we have inherited for health and prosperities and for it to grow for future generations. Thank you and welcome to Planet Forward.
The 2023 Planet Forward Summit, all in. Diverse voices. Student storytellers from Tuskegee University to UC Berkeley. From the Apsáalooke Nation to SUNY Environmental Science and Forestry. Compelling narratives from the glacial landscapes of Antarctica to sprawling McGinley Ranch in Nebraska. Sustainable solutions, driven by ideas and innovations addressing the planet's biggest challenges. From how to cook invasive species to the future of robotic bees. Schools from across the country. Student correspondents and contributors from around the world. The next generation of environmental leaders and storytellers. Welcome to the Planet Forward Summit. All in. Diverse voices, compelling narratives, sustainable solutions.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. I'm Frank Sesno, and I am delighted on behalf of all of us at Planet Forward and George Washington University to welcome you to the 10th annual Planet Forward Summit. This year, as you've seen, we're focused on a brilliant and critical array of voices, diverse voices, telling stories about this endangered planet. Why? So we can learn, so we can act, so we can mobilize, so we can come together, so we can understand, so we can empathize, all those things. We have a remarkable and jam-packed agenda for you today. So I hope you're going to be with us throughout the day. Morning, we'll go to workshops, we'll have lunch, you're going to hear from the Ford Motor Company and how they're making an EV transition in a remarkable way. This afternoon, all kinds of different approaches to this. You're going to meet experts and storytellers, scientists and biologists and others. Quickly in the room, how many students are in the room? Hands up, please. Whoa, all right. Leave your hand up if you're looking for a job or interested in a job. Okay, so you have little green dots on your tag, some of you, if you're looking for a job. Now, those who aren't looking for a job, but who would be interested in talking to those who are looking for a job with advice, maybe even a job, could you raise your hands? Come on, be brave now. Awesome. All right, so look around. And in our coffee break and our lunch and throughout the day, reach out, make connection, learn from one another. This is an unbelievable group of people. Where are you all from? How about some shout outs for some schools? Schools? ESF. SUNY ESF from? Okay, where else?
Tuskegee University.
Where? Tuskegee, from?
Tuskegee, Alabama.
Tuskegee, Alabama, okay. Another university, school?
Colorado State University.
Colorado State, where else?
Eckerd College.
Eckerd College, from?
St. Petersburg, Florida.
All right, where else?
George Washington University.
George Washington, how about that? Where else? Where? Middlebury, from, I know that place. I went there. My wife went there. 2 of our sons went there. We're not a very imaginative family. Our daughter went to Eckerd, and she's here. Where's Emily? There's daughter Emily, okay. Other schools?
Texas Tech.
Where?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech?
Yukon.
UConn? Anybody else want to yell out before we go on?
University.
Where?
Duke.
Duke University. So this is amazing. And we want you to get to know one another and spend the day, exchanging ideas. You're all here because you care about the planet, because you need to tell its stories, because you are going to make a difference. That's a promise. We know that. Human-caused warming of 1.1 degrees Celsius. Anybody see the IPCC report recently? Right? Not good news. It's already changed the Earth's climate. It's already affecting in a bad way 1 billion people who are the most vulnerable, who come from places that contribute 1% of greenhouse gases. That's why we need to be all in. That's why all these voices and ideas, and that's why we need to communicate clearly. So that's our focus today. And this morning we're going to learn something very important. We're going to start in just a minute, because you can't be a good storyteller, a good communicator, if you don't know the audience you're talking to. And if you want to reach across lines and reach a diverse audience, you need to understand what it is you're saying to whom and how. Over lunch, we're going to hear stories of a just transition. I mentioned the Ford Motor Company. And for those of you who know and care, I believe we've got a Ford F-150 Lightning that you'll be able to see later and talk to some engineers about how that has been built and where it's going. We're going to share opportunities with you here today. Lots of opportunities. Your story is your superpower, all right? We're going to hear from Matt Scott and Project Drawdown, and we're going to hear about a new partnership with them. We're going to have these workshops later this morning, and Matt is doing this, Your Story is Your Superpower. Science and Action Filmmaking, Immersive Learning Through Storytelling with Dana Seidel and Xenia Morin, among our newest consortium schools from Rutgers. Composting. Anybody compost in the room here? Okay, anybody want to compost in the room here? Okay, great. So that's with GW's Office of Sustainability, and Framing Your Big Idea with John Sutter. So the workshop's when we take a break in just a little bit. We're going to close this afternoon by announcing the winners of our StoryFest competition. How many StoryFest finalists are in the room? Raise your hand if you're a finalist. Okay, that is awesome. Congratulations. The winners will come with us this summer, and Lindblad Expeditions, and I think Lindblad is in the room. Where's Lindblad? In the back? Okay, there's Alex. To Iceland. You are going to have a remarkable trip to Iceland, and later we're going to meet the ambassador from Iceland, who's going to tell you what a country is doing when they're serious about sustainability, a whole country. I want to thank our sponsors, our schools, and our organizers, folks who make this possible today. This is a big undertaking. Planet Forward is a wonderful idea, but it takes a village to make it happen. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank the Planet Forward team. You have probably met them already, and you will throughout the day. Go up, talk to them, get ideas, engage with us, do a story. So Kim Ossie is here, the genius behind this whole thing. And Aaron Dye, where's Aaron? Aaron's over here. You may have met students who've submitted stories. You've already been through Aaron and his grueling editorial eye. Lisa Palmer, who's our education lead. You'll be hearing from her. Sophie Kaler. Sophie is with us. Harita Swara, Elena Mantilla, Daria Anastasia, and Grace Saw. So welcome to all, and thanks for everything. In a moment, we're going to start by hearing from one of the leading authorities. I talked about knowing your audience, who studies the audience and studies climate communication. Ed Maybach is a distinguished university professor at George Mason University, where I started out when I left CNN and came into academia. I started at George Mason before coming here. And he is doing astonishingly important work that you will find fascinating, that will help you understand, what do people think? How do they absorb messaging around climate and sustainability? He leads the university's Center for Climate Change Communication and co-directs the Climate Change in the American Mind polling project. So we'll hear from him in just a minute. But first, I want to introduce you to the Provost and Chief Academic Officer of this institution, Chris Bracey. Because the colleges and universities you all come from, like GW, are leading the way in sustainability by educating you, young people, who will change the world, because if you don't, we won't have a world left to change, right? And the universities that are doing powerful research to figure this stuff out. So without further ado, Chris Bracey, Provost Bracey, it's all yours.
Thank you, Frank. And good morning to you all, and welcome to George Washington University's 10th Annual Planet Forward Summit. It's incredibly exciting to be here today with so many students and subject matter experts representing so many different places and disciplines and professions. But we're all here because we have something important in common: our investment in the future of this planet and our belief that every one of us is responsible for confronting climate change. We are all familiar with the grim reports about climate change, environmental injustice, and more. And it's abundantly clear, at least to me and perhaps to others in this room, that we face an immense challenge here. However, institutions of higher learning and higher education are incredibly well positioned to work across political aisles and disciplines and be hubs of thought leadership and facilitators of conversation about how to address the world's most pressing issues. This summit is just one example of how a university can make an impact. The George Washington University has already made significant strides in commitment to sustainability, evidenced in our research, teaching, and operations. Let me share a few examples with you. We offer a robust sustainability minor, as well as multiple undergraduate and graduate degree programs that prepare students for careers in policy, civil engineering, international affairs, and other fields. We encourage our students to engage their diverse backgrounds in order to examine the critical, all-encompassing sustainability issues that affect all of us and create dynamic solutions. We have world-renowned faculty who provide insight and knowledge in sustainability fields to both students, local and global partners, inside and outside of the classroom. GW is on track to achieve carbon neutrality by the year 2030. As of fiscal year 2022, GW has reduced its carbon emissions by 45% compared to 2008, thanks to improved energy efficiency and more electricity from renewable sources. With leadership from our Board of Trustees and campus community, GW has announced its commitment to divesting our endowment from businesses that derive the majority of their revenue from the extraction of fossil fuels, and we are on track to fully divest the endowment from fossil fuels by the year 2025. GW has adopted a zero-waste strategy to reduce the amount of waste sent to landfills while increasing recycling, reuse, donation, and composting. Through dining and event-based composting and compost drop-off, we have diverted more than 100,000 pounds of organic waste from landfills in fall of 2022. The university is also implementing a progressive policy of eliminating single-use plastics from our campuses. So these are just a few examples that represent, I think, a commitment to action and crucially hope within the George Washington University community. Hope that what we do today will make the world a better place tomorrow. I expect and anticipate that you all share this same hope and commitment to our planet, and you care about how to tell compelling stories about breakthroughs and innovations, people and policies that are making a real difference to address problems and to find solutions. During the course of this Planet Forward Summit, you will hear from experts and innovators with their remarkable stories to tell, and I hope that you walk away from here with new knowledge, renewed energy, and inspiration to continue making your unique mark on the world. So thank you for being here, and enjoy your time during the summit.